So I just want to say first that it's really honored to be here with so many talented artists and to be included on the crew that will be restoring the grand performance later this summer. So it's really nice to be here. My name is David Burke. I'm an Oakland-based muralist. And let's see.
He needs to have this
Well, you can see part of it, and you can see his head. So I'm going to start with this image, and you can see his head right there. That's Dan Fonts, who recently passed away. I was 8 years old when this was painted, and I remember seeing this mural as an 8-year-old, seeing this giraffe painted. It's underneath 580 in Oakland, kind of near Kaiser. And there was something that struck me about just the magic of seeing a giraffe in the middle of Oakland. We were probably on our way, we were on our way to Kaiser, and it really left an impression on me, the directness, and again, like seeing this piece through the eyes of an 8-year-old, it really left a mark on me. And I didn't know at the time that I was going to be painting murals as an adult. But it was definitely something that as I matured as an artist, reflected on a lot. And, was fortunate enough to meet Dan Fonts as an adult and get to know him and express my gratitude for his work. And he had a profound impact on so many artists in the Bay Area, and worked with Danielle. So just really want to pay tribute to him and his legacy. And then not too far down, let's see. So not too far down the street, around the same time, Danielle was painting his grand performance, and this was another piece that I remember in the back of the station wagon driving by and seeing this magical, surreal landscape of figures floating in the sky. And so these two murals, along with some others, were really helped kind of shape my perspective on large-scale painting and mural painting. And so what I'm going to do is just walk through one mural that we painted in 2023 in Oakland. This is on 51st and Shattuck in the Temescal district, and it's part of an ongoing series called Love Letter to Oakland. And the theme of the project is to celebrate different generations of artists and activists in the city and show the older generation passing the torch to the younger generation. So we feature musicians, painters, poets, dancers, people from all different disciplines, and create these compositions where you have the older generation passing the torch. So here on the left is Hung Lu, who was a professor at Mills College of Chinese. She's from China. She was an amazing painter and really had a big impact on a lot of young artists that worked with her at Mills. To the right of her is Michael Morgan, who's the symphony director of the Oakland Symphony for many years. Then moving right is Kev Choice, who is a musician, producer, Oakland-based, really prolific. And then two familiar faces. We have Elaine and Marina here on the bottom right. And so I'm just gonna walk through, these pieces start, here's the wall. And if you talk to a muralist, we all have like a list of maybe our top 5 walls in any given city. We'll really be seeing like, oh, I want to paint that one. And so this was really on my bucket list for a really long time. And this particular series is definitely a passion project where we just write grants and get donations and just trying to piece together on a shoestring to make these happen. And we start in the studio. So we invite the artists into the studio because we really want the lighting to be consistent in the mural. So we have a light source and we know where the light source is coming from, so we make sure that when we photograph them, everything is consistent, so we create the atmosphere in the mural, and it stays consistent. And so this was Hung Lu. We didn't know at the time, when Hung Lu was at the studio, that she had cancer. And a few short months after she came to the studio, she passed away. And so this changed the spirit of the project quite a bit, and it became more of a tribute to her and her legacy. Same with Michael Morgan. We were planning to have him come visit us, and he passed away that same summer. And so, one of the main tenets of the project is to celebrate living artists so that they can be celebrated, right? And but this project shifted when they passed away, and these two great models here. And what we also do as part of this project is we interview the artists and talk about their influences, and we're putting together a short film that kind of traces the threads between artists in different disciplines and how being Bay Area artists influences them and how it shapes their practice. And this is a director, Bruce Riley. He's going to be in the next Love Letter mural. So let's see. Let's go next slide. Oh, it's all good. So these walls are typically neglected and beat up, so we start, just washing the wall. And each step of the process is kind of a meditation for us. It's about cleaning the wall, preparing the surface, making sure that, a mural is only as strong as what's underneath it and how it's prepared. You can paint the most beautiful mural, but if the wall isn't prepared properly, it's just gonna fade, crack, peel off the wall. And so we really take time to prep the wall, and then start priming. And it's always those first couple days where it's quite dramatic, the shift in the mural. And then we sort of ran out of the one blue, so we finished the other blue. But we kind of knew, like, when you're painting the background, it's just kind of the foundation. It's just this part that you won't really see in the end. And then we wanted to get, this building had really interesting architecture, so we really wanted to use the architecture to our advantage. We were painting it. And we did not have a pulley system swing stage for this. We had a lift and a couple of, it's a lot of climbing up, painting, you climb down, you walk across the street, you look, and it's very physical. And that's, I think, one thing that people who are not in this line of work don't quite understand the physicality of it. You're out, if it's hot out and sunny out, you're hot. If it's windy out, if it's cold, you're feeling everything, and then you're standing 30 feet up, and you've got your palette, and your water, and your all of it, and it's a lot to navigate. And but I think for all of us, it's really a meditation on staying present, because you have to stay balanced, and you have to know where your feet are, and all of those things. So it's really, I think, a nice meditation on those things. Next slide. There's Pablo, usually shirtless. You know, so, and I think about, when we're painting together, where I think a lot of us is like a visual band, where we all play different instruments, and individually we're very talented, but together, when we come together, you elevate each other and you create something special that you couldn't have created on your own. And that's really one of the things that I love about working with these guys is just seeing what they do on the wall. And then that inspires me to answer that. And it's this conversation that we're having throughout the course of the project. Next slide. And there's Pancho working on the Paramount sign. Next slide. And these murals are really so much about the small details, right? The little things matter. And even if no one is gonna see, murals are interesting because when you're painting it, you're right here. But the average viewer is gonna see it from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 feet, maybe 100 feet away. And so they'll never see it quite like this, but those small details matter. Even if no one else sees it, you can sense it. So we really pay a lot of attention to those small details and try and capture the essence of each figure that we're portraying in the piece. I love this picture. That's one of my favorites. And then there's Dan with Jovic and Pancho, and we feel really fortunate to have gotten to know Danielle and Dan. They were the trailblazers for us. And to form a relationship with you guys and get to learn from you and just hear your stories has really been a meaningful part of this process over the years for us. Next slide. This is Hung Lu's partner, who I had met when they came to the studio and we did the photo shoot, and she had since passed, so he came and visited to pay tribute to her, and we had a moment. And these pieces, they live on in the people whose lives they touch, the people in the community who live with the piece. We really, there's Kev Choice, who is also featured in the mural. And murals, they become part of our visual landscape and part of your daily routine. And if you drive to work or, wherever you go, they're part of our life story. And big murals, small murals. We restored a small mural of Martin Luther King Jr. near Lake Merritt last year. And the number of people that we didn't paint, it was painted in the 90s, but the number of people that came up to us and thanked us and said, hey, I grew up with this piece, I love this piece, thank you. They're part of the fabric of our daily lives. And so this is the final piece again. And we've since painted 3 in this series, and we're planning to paint the 4th in the series of Love Letter to Oakland this summer. Do you want to do the? Yeah.